Hey YouTube, in this video we're going to be taking a look at Dragon's Dogma performance on the PC. So this is going to be kind of a more ideal use case, or experience I should say, in terms of how the game performs. So this is going to be testing or showcasing the game running on a Ryzen 7 7800X3D with an RX 7900 XT. So the graphics card doesn't really matter in this game. You don't need too much GPU power for this particular game. It's no different from any of the Resident Evil games, like Resident Evil 2 Remake, 3 Remake, the recent Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil Village, etc. All those use similar graphics power to this game, or require similar graphics power. Now what it actually is needed in this game is actually CPU. Like, the better your CPU, the better your gaming experience. As you can see here, we are running the game with the Ryzen 7 7800X3D. Now this CPU, it doesn't use a lot of electricity. As you can see with Afterburner, it's only using like 40 watts while we're recording footage of the gameplay. But the CPU does get used quite a bit. You can see we're at like 44, almost 50% CPU utilization in this title. If we were to go outside, well, let's head outside the city real quick to kind of show. You guys can see inside the city. The city is where all the controversy is in terms of how the game runs, because it's a lot more demanding on the CPU, mainly because of all the NPC data. So, and you can see those frame times are like hovering around 13 milliseconds. But as soon as we go outside, you'll see the FPS just shoots way up. You know, now we're like almost basically 90 FPS in this title with the 7900 XT, because now the GPU is able to do what it needs to do. See, my GPU utilization is at 99%, 100%. That is the full power. We have ray tracing turned on. Everything is maxed out, just to kind of show the settings so that everyone can see. So we're testing the game at 1080p because I want to eliminate the GPU bottleneck as much as possible. Ray tracing is on, ambient occlusion, etc. Everything is maxed out though, because this GPU is powerful enough to handle all the graphics fidelity options maxed out at 1080p. You can even go up to 1440p or 4K and it would be fine, even with ray tracing turned on, because it performs the same as Resident Evil 4 when it comes to the GPU. But the CPU is where the game actually uses a lot of processing power. But outside in the forest, in the desert areas, it's always going to be above 60 in this scenario. However, when you go, let's approach the town here. Vernworth is the most notorious city. There's another large city in the game, but it is not as hard on the CPU as this city, because it's the largest city in the game with the most NPCs. But the entire game world, it's seamless. There's no load times. The only time there's a load screen is when you first load the game, obviously. The second time there's a load time, or the only other time there's a load screen, is when you teleport using the fast travel system. But that's kind of rare. So just to kind of see how it runs in Vernworth, you can see we are falling below 60. It doesn't matter what CPU you have, there is no way to avoid the sub 60 experience in the city. So you can see, however, with the X3D, the X3D CPUs do seem to do the best from what I've tested. They're the ones that are able to maintain on a kind of like an around 60 average at all times. So just keep that in mind if you're somebody who is a big fan of this series and you want the best possible experience and you're on an older platform. I am going to showcase how the game runs on an older CPU, like a Ryzen 3000 series. So we're going to look at a Ryzen 7 3800X in another video, just to kind of show you guys what happens if you're on like a 5-year-old PC from 2019, or even older. So hope this kind of enlightens you guys in terms of what to expect for Dragon's Dogma 2 in terms of the overall gaming experience on the PC. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks.